Hey guys, if this is your first time on my channel, you are most definitely welcome. If you're a returning watcher, what's up? How you doing? What's poppin'? What's good? What's good? What's good? So today I'm going to be talking about building relationships with your professor. This is a really important thing to do in college, and I wish I knew this very, very early on in my college career. The course of my college career might have been a little bit different if I'd known that. So before I get into that, please just take a moment, pause, breathe, be grateful that you're alive, inhale, exhale, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. It only takes 2 seconds. It's literally a click. And if you're able to watch the video, you should be able to subscribe. So just subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super, super excited because that means like I've been touching lives and people actually value the content I give, and I want to be able to give more. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Okay, let's get into the video. Building relationships with professors is really, 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 really important, and I wish I knew how important it was my freshman year, because you need those relationships to be able to get recommendations, to be honest with you. You need recommendations for things you apply to, graduate school, internships, letters of references, but also you kind of want to do well in school. You want to do well in the classes, and I feel like getting to know your professor gives you a little bit of an advantage to doing well in school. My freshman year, found approaching professors super awkward just because like most of the time they're these old white men, and I'm just kind of like, I don't see what you and I would have in common. Not that I was intimidated, but just kind of like, I felt weird, you know? And I wish I kind of got over that like weird feeling earlier, and it took me until junior, senior year to really kind of, you know, just have that courage to put myself out there. But I want you guys to do it ahead of time. So I'm going to give you advice on how to approach your professors and like the best way to go about building relationships with them. So the first thing I would say is introduce yourself, which is like, Sean, that sounds obvious, like duh, of course I'm going to introduce myself, but introduce yourself early. So like depending on the class and like the situation, I'm going to introduce myself or after the first class or before the class starts. I'll say, hi, my name is Sean Adebagbo. I am a junior majoring whatever, and I'm super excited to be taking your class, you know. And then, you know, just introduction so they see my face, right? My senior year, I was taking human physiology, and I was really stressed because human physiology is a lot of information. And I was just kind of like, I saw the grade distribution from previous years, and I was like, let me email the professor to see if there's anything I can do before the class actually starts, to see if I can, like, you know, prepare and get ready and mentally prepare for this class. So I emailed him, I introduced myself, I said, hi, my name is Sean Adebagbo. I'm a senior majoring in this. I plan on pursuing X, Y, and Z, you know, medicine, of course. And, you know, I really, really am excited about your class. You know, I think that what you're teaching is really cool, but I want to know, you know, in your opinion, how have students in the past been able to do well in your class? What is the biggest advice you have for students to succeed in your class? And when you introduce yourself like that, I think it leaves a good first impression, because it shows professors like, man, this person is taking initiative and they really care about their education and they want to do well in this class. They care about learning and they want to know how to be successful, and that is the best way to start off a relationship. So I usually always do that with my professors. You'll find some professors are easier to approach than others, but nonetheless, you know, you have to tweak things for depending on the kind of personality they are. So that's the first thing I do. The next thing I would do is I ask questions in class. The more you raise your hand and ask questions, the more they're going to see your face, and at some point they're going to remember your name. Because usually when you do the first introduction, they're like, oh, hi, but by the end of the class, they don't even remember your name anymore, to be honest. But the more they see your face or hear your voice, your name is going to stick. Especially because my name is kind of hard to say. So when I'm constantly asking questions, constantly reminding them of my name, how to say my name, eventually it sticks, and like they already know, like, oh, Sean, you have a question? Sean, yes. Sean, yes. Yes, Sean. And I kind of like that because, you know, it puts me on a first name kind of basis with the professor, where like they can see my face and automatically know who I am, recognize who I am, and just know a little bit about me, right? That's the second thing. Ask questions in class. It's helpful not just to like build repertoire with the professor, but it's also helpful for yourself, because if you're asking questions in class, you're getting clarified things you need to get clarified. The next thing I would say is go to office hours. Like, go to office hours because you need help, but also go to professor office hours to get to know them. Like, that is the best time to really establish your relationship with the professor and get to know them. Like, ask them questions about the content. Like, you know, sometimes I ask like, oh, can you reteach this, whatever. But if there's downtime during office hours where like kind of everyone's kind of doing their own work and no one really has like a real tangible question, I might just say like, oh, why did you decide to teach biochemistry? Of all the things in the world, why biochemistry? What is it about proteins? Or like, you know, just kind of striking up conversation. Or sometimes what will happen is they ask you about yourself. They ask you about what you're majoring in, why you're taking the class, stuff like that. And that's, you know, the small talk helps build, like, you know, content for them to know about you, especially if they're going to write you a recommendation. The more interactions they have with you, the more they have to write in your letters a recommendation. The next thing I would say is invite them to faculty night. So I don't know if all schools do this, but I know Stanford does this, where like once every quarter they'll have a faculty night where you can invite a faculty of your choice to the dining hall to have dinner with them. And that's a great time to get to know your professor, get to know why they went into the research they go into, why they're passionate about teaching. Like, you know, you learn so much. You actually learn a lot about them, right? Sometimes the information is just kind of like, okay, I kind of don't care. But like most of the time it's pretty interesting stuff that they have to say. So take them to faculty night and they're going to remember you if you do that. They're going to be like, man, someone cared enough to actually ask me out to dinner. You'd be surprised how many professors actually feel special when you get to know them or ask them to faculty nights. They really feel like important, and that's a good like little ego booster, so you should definitely do it. The last thing I would say is thank them for a semester. So even if you feel like the semester didn't go as well as you wanted it to, like maybe you wanted an A but you got a B plus, or like, you know, maybe you struggle in the class, you might have to retake it again, still thank them for the semester. Send them an email saying, you know, hey, I took your class, you know, I really appreciate you putting in the time and effort to teach. You know, I satisfied with the grade I got, you know, I'm hoping to like be able to inspire other people to take your class, or it seems like, you know, I might have to retake your class at a later time, but you know, I'm really hoping to improve significantly from this time to the next time. Thanking them really matters because it shows that, like, you know, you cared enough to say thank you. Like, you know, the little things matter. And like even after that, it doesn't hurt to keep up with your professors every now and then, like maybe once a quarter or a couple months later, just, you know, reaching out to them saying, hey, you know, I took your class. And ideally, if you did your job correctly, they're gonna remember you, and you won't have to like remind them who you are. But sometimes, you know, professors, you know, they forget things. So you can be like, oh, I took your class this quarter. I was the funky person that's always wearing scarves, or I usually, like, you know, will say something that attaches to me. For me, it's usually I was the girl who always had different hairstyles, because throughout college, I was always changing up my wigs, to be honest. And like one day I'd have my natural hair, the next day I had orange hair, and it's kind of like, oh, two different people. So reaching out to them to kind of update them on like your life, what you're doing, and that helps so that when you do finally ask them for recommendations, they have been keeping up to date with like who you are and like kind of the things you've done, and it gives them a lot of content to write. So like the professors I asked to write recommendations for medical school are people who I felt like I had a lot of interaction with. I know that they're going to say good things about me. I know that they like me. They thought I was funny. Like, one of my favorite things to do is joke around with professors. Like, that's kind of how I break the ice. I like, you know, throw a joke in there, you know, kind of get them to loosen up. Because sometimes professors themselves are kind of like stiff. So I usually would like crack a joke or something. Or during office hours, right before an exam, I'll be like, so, all right, Dr. Dubois, you don't have, just between me and you, what you going to put on the exam? You want to send me the exam? What's going to be on the exam? You know, I kind of joke around like that, and they're like, ha ha ha, Sean, you know I'm not going to give you the exam. But, you know, I just do it because, you know, just as fun, you know, kind of like lighten the ice and get everyone laughing in the office hours. So find your special thing to make that connection, because building relationships with professors can open up a wide variety of opportunities for you. Like, I've heard of friends who, because they established a relationship with professors, ended up getting research opportunities, or were referred to get like jobs, or were able to get really, really strong letters of recommendation, or were able to get grants for different things. So it's really, really important, and the earlier you start, the better. Like, one of the biggest things I struggled with was my junior year, when I was trying to apply to like pre-medical programs, or I was trying to like finally get my foot in the door into a lot of research opportunities and stuff. I didn't have anyone to write me letters of recommendation because I hadn't built any relationships with professors. Like, I didn't know anyone. The only person I know was my boss, and like Of course, she was gonna write me a letter of recommendation because she loves me, but it was like she couldn't really speak too well to like me as an academic, right? Because I only saw her in the context of work. She never saw me in the context of class or like doing PSETs and stuff. Of course, she saw me doing PSETs at work, but like it was really hard, and I got rejected from a lot of stuff because I just didn't have people who could write really good things about me. But by the end of my senior year, that really changed. I feel like I have a strong cohort of professors and people and faculty who would gladly write me things and like know me. I feel comfortable that they know me well enough to write something that's going to be strong for me in my application. So that's why it's really important, and I really hope you guys really take into consideration and think about what is the best way for me to build relationships with my professors. Well, that's all I have for today. If you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.